There's a lot of new improvements coming to FC27 Career Mode, overhauls to the Youth Academy, pre-season, international football, contracts and transfers. Despite the improvements made this year by EA, FC26 Career Mode is still years behind where it should be, so I got the idea to create an FC27 Career Mode trailer to show what I believe EA need to work on in the next year to get Career Mode to the best level possible for FC27. The deep dive trailer that I created is just like the one that EA release every year for their new game, except mine is going to contain the most important changes that would improve Career Mode the most, so don't click off the video yet. I'll play the trailer that I made in a moment. I just wanted to preface this video with a few things. Firstly, this isn't a full wishlist for Career Mode. Realistically, EA can't add 100 new features into the game over the next year. So after looking at the previous deep dives, it seems that they tend to split them into 5 or 6 different new features, so I kept that in mind. But I stuck to new features that I believe wouldn't be hard to add into the game, or just simply improving what is already there, things that I do think that EA could add over this next year. And you might be wondering why I'm making a video about FC27 when FC26 has just come out. It's because EA will be working on FC27 right now, so I feel like the video is more relevant to make at the moment compared to a few months before the next game comes out. So without further ado, here is what I believe the perfect FC27 Career Mode deep dive would look like. EA, take note. There's a lot of new improvements coming to FC27 Career Mode, new changes to the Youth Academy that will give you more depth and customization, a database editor that will enable you to fix imperfections and create a variety of scenarios within your save, a new way to customize and play through pre-season, international football that includes every nation and competition, contract negotiations that will add more depth and scenarios in both manager and player careers, and finally a completely new transfer market that will offer more realism and challenge. Let's start with the Youth Academy in FC27. We are bringing in many quality of life improvements so that bringing up players from youth football to the first team is as realistic and as fun as possible. Firstly, you will now be able to demote players under the age of 21 from the first team into your academy. If you want to give a youth player a chance in your first team, you can do that with the option to continue their academy game time in the future rather than rotting in the reserves. To supplement this feature, in the team management section of the game, there is now a button where you can call a youth player up for one-off matches. You can keep track of these players' performance stats at both youth and senior level in the Youth Squad Hub. Youth fixtures have also been changed. Now you can play these games in an 11 versus 11 setting or simulate the matches entirely. We've also extended the Youth Squad limit from 16 players to 25, and that's not everything. To help you feel more immersed and grow a better connection to these players, you will now have the ability to fully customize the appearance and detail of any regenerated player in your save. Customization is an important part of Career Mode this year, and that is further enhanced in FC27 with our new database editor. Something that a lot of people within the community want more of is control over their saves, and now you can alter player ratings, attributes, AI transfers, contracts and more, which we believe will be a game changer for those who want to fix imperfections in their save or create their own storylines. This editor covers players, managers, transfers and clubs. Starting with the upgraded player editor that will now be available in Career Mode for the first time. Within this, you can edit every aspect of a player, including every stat, playstyle, and also their potential. We've also developed a quick edit feature where you can navigate the player menu and change a player's overall potential or position while the game adjusts the attributes for you to allow you to customize more in less time. Both players and managers can be transferred manually as well, so if you see a transfer in your save that breaks immersion for you, you can undo it or create a transfer yourself. For more depth with player transfers, you can do permanent transfers, loans and release players, along with the ability to customize transfer fees and player contracts. And finally, you can edit the transfer budget of any club within your save. So if you want to make a huge AI club or bring a lower league team into a budget of millions of pounds, you can do this in FC27 Career Mode. Staying on the topic of customization, players will now have as much control over pre-season friendlies as ever. While you can still accept invitations to pre-season tournaments, you can also click onto a selection of dates in the calendar to add in fixtures against any clubs of your choice, giving you the opportunity to play against a new club or tour a new country. We've also updated friendlies in Career Mode 2, so now you can have up to 11 substitutes in a match and rotate your squad as much as you want. Games are going to feel more relaxed with less atmosphere and more casual reactions to events on the pitch that reflect a more realistic pre-season experience in FC27. Let's move on to international football. We are happy to announce that FC27 will feature every national team and competition so that you can experience everything that international football has to offer in your save. There's a mix of licensed and generic nations and tournaments in the game in order to include everything. For any licensed players already in the game, who play for those generic nations, they will still be a part of their respected teams. But for any players missing from a nation, we have added a generic player to fill in that gap. These players will reflect the characteristics of their real-life counterparts in their level of quality and also how they play on the pitch. Each nation will have the same characteristics as their squads in real life. These players will also be fully customizable. Every tournament has accurate qualifying stages and correct formatting, so you can take on any challenge across the globe. And with our UEFA agreement, the Nations League will be fully licensed in the game for the first time. And of course, with all of these new nations, you will be able to check up on the world rankings to see which countries are rising and falling throughout your save. And to complete your realistic international football experience, you can now manage a national team without being part of a club, and you can also select a national team when you are choosing your first job to start your career mode save. When taking a new job in international football or indeed club football, you can now negotiate your own contract terms in FC27. This will come with its own cutscenes, and you will be able to negotiate the length of your contract and wage before taking a new job. Of course, this feature will also be accessible in player career, so that the roles can be reversed and you can be the player negotiating better terms during contract renewals or transfers. If you fancy a different challenge, you can also run down your contract to become a free agent. So whether you're a player or a manager, you can watch the football world play out while you're keeping your options open. This change to player career mode also impacts player agent feature, which is now simplified as a tool just to express your interest on joining other clubs. Regardless of what clubs you have targeted, you can receive random transfer and loan offers. We have also removed objectives from the player agent and given more importance on your attributes and form when attracting a new club. And finally, a transfer market overhaul that will make career mode feel as realistic as ever in FC27. Transfer values have been recoded this year to better reflect the real life market. High potential players have more inflated values, whilst declining players will be less valuable in the market. When it comes to negotiating transfer fees, there's now more factors in play that will impact on the final transfer fee of the player. As well, competition. The market isn't just for you, there's other clubs looking to improve their squads, so now when other clubs are interested in the same player as you will have to compete in a bidding war to get a player's signature. This is also something that you can see during the sale of one of your players. Competition is part of the new transfer economy in the game, which will see clubs have more accurate transfer budgets and wage structures. Any club can see their budgets change based on the standings of the club. Along with wage structures, we have adjusted player wages in career mode where they will reflect the real world better. We can't get every player contract 100% accurate in the game. For understandable reasons, they are now significantly closer to real life. This will give you more to think about with your strategy in the transfer window. So one of the tools that will help you out is our new player search engine. Identifying new transfer targets is now more streamlined with a better range of search filters. There are now tick box options for searching for more than one thing at a time, along with new ways to find new players. Unscouted players will now have overall and potential ranges where you can get an idea of which players could potentially be a good option for you to scout further. You may still get players above or below your criteria, but you will see more players who are nowhere near the level that you're looking for being filtered out to make the scouting experience a lot quicker and easier. When you find the right player and start to negotiate a transfer, you will now be able to put together a full offer instead of negotiating step by step, giving you more flexibility. And that's not all. We are excited to have more clauses within negotiations too. When making or receiving a transfer offer, you can now set a buyback clause on the player. A club can now also purchase a player and directly loan them back to the selling club. When it comes to loan transfers, you can now negotiate a loan fee. And for contract negotiations, you can now offer a bigger variety of contract lengths. So those are the main changes coming to career mode in FC27. A new database editor accompanied with overhauls to the Youth Academy, pre-season, international football, contracts and transfers to bring the most realism and depth that we've ever seen in the game. To learn more about these new additions, the pitch notes for this deep dive are available on our website, along with the link to pre-order and earn extra perks for FC27. So that's everything that I think EA should work on in the next year to give us the best FC27 possible. EA have a lot of resources, but year after year they waste time on things that they don't need to add. Transfer Analyst, Manager Live, Player Personality are all recent features that nobody asked for. What I wanted to portray in this trailer is what I believe EA could actually do in 1 year if they put their mind towards ideas that actually would positively impact career mode, instead of going for flashy new features that actually break the game. And that's why I left out new complicated systems that I thought would be too difficult to add in over 1 year. So a new player growth system and making player career more like the journey are things that I would like to see them work on, but realistically they will take longer, so I did leave them out of the video. So let me know your thoughts on this video in the comments. If EA actually dropped a deep dive trailer like this next summer, how hyped would you be? Would you be really happy with this? Because I certainly would. I think while the game would still have its imperfections, this would be a huge step in the right direction. But realistically, we know EA probably are going to add in a completely new system that none of us asked for. So I don't hold out any hope. If we get half of these things in the next game, I'll be very happy. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Like I say, let me know in the comments what you thought overall. Hit a like if you did enjoy the video. I would really appreciate any support that I get on the video. If you want to share it around, anything like that, I would appreciate more than any other video. This definitely took longer than anything that I've created. It took so much work. And if there is a small chance that it does make an impact on what EA do with the game going forward, then that would be great. But yeah, I really would appreciate any support on this video. If you're not already subscribed, hit that red button because I make plenty of FC26 and other football gaming content. So make sure that you keep in the loop of my future uploads on this channel. And yeah, thank you for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one.